guys, I thought I'd show you today real quick how to make one of these little bitty baby books, like so. I'm not going to use this binding, I don't think, today. Hang on, let's see. This is a biohacks book I made. I figure out what I can and can't eat. On account of that was me at 230 pounds. Let's see, that was the 3. No, it will come out looking like this. Okay, good. Okay. So these covers are made out of file folders, just plain old office file folders. I covered them with scrapbook paper, inside and out. The overhangs make little stuff pockets. Okay. The insides, I have here 4 signatures of mixed papers. Some are coffee dyed printer paper, some are ledger papers, some are let's see, these are just art watercolor paper that is coffee dyed and stained. This one's purple and green. I have graph paper, list paper that is longer than the others, so I can fold it out, or whoever ends up with this book can fold it out. These are more just for keeping notes or random things. They fit really well in your purse. I wear a lot of BDUs, so they fit in my big pockets really well. And they're just great for on-the-go note-taking. You have one in the car. Yeah, I thought I'd show you real quick how to make these. I have cover stuffing clips in case we need those. I use generally just whatever yarn I have available. This is a wool. It's reasonably strong and it's absolutely gorgeous. The sweater I made out of this, I just absolutely love. I don't know. Oops, Madeline. I have several types of needles that I usually use. This one I prefer for doing a kettle stitch binding because of the hook on the end here, the way it's curved. I can get in behind the post of previous stitches, but we'll do that another time because that takes quite a while. Today we're going to keep it simple, so let's go. Once I get my stack of papers ready, I keep them all together in the order that they're going to be put in the book. I generally, and I don't measure these. These are, I call them happy accident books. However they turn out is just fine. Take a colored pen or marker or some such, and we're going to mark roughly in the middle. We're going to put, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that every single one of your spine pieces for your signature has a mark on it, because it will mess you up later if you don't. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not quite even. Okay, we'll line those up here in a minute. And then here, I find if I squish them together, I get a pretty good base going. And then separate them and hit it going down and then coming back up. And you can use a ruler for this if you want, which I do if I have more signatures, but for 4, you pretty much freehand it. Okay, keeping those in the order that they're already in. We're going to work from the bottom first. let's see, I need, since it's a small project, I'll use a little ruler. And again, this is really, really rough. It will, let's see, a pen for that. This one's a little sharper. The line up with the bottom set here, so I'll do like so. Black ones. This one, these came out way close to that edge, but they should be fine. Okay, now the fun part. Use what you have. If you don't have an awl or a poking thing, I have this one. If you don't have something this heavy duty, and I think it's mostly that this is hella sharp. Before I come across this, I used to use a hammer and a nail, a small nail. But use what you have. Normally I have a mouse pad on my table for this, and I might have to do that. I don't know where it's going. But for the most part, if you have a carpeted floor, that will work just fine. Okay. It doesn't take long, but you poke your holes in here. Now, some people will have an issue with this sticking out like so. I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. But if that bothers you, go in from the top. Go in from the right side of the paper and poke holes from here, which means you have to draw on your cover, which I don't like to do. But this isn't going to matter too terribly here in a minute. You know, I believe the three, if you do 3 or 5 holes, they call this type of stitching that we're going to do a pamphlet stitch. So starting at the bottom of our stack that we had ready, make sure you've got your signature, all your pages, especially with these ones that are copy dyed, they take up more space, so sometimes they look like they're firmly got their spines together, but they don't always. But make sure they're all together, ready to go. If you need to, let's see, you can use bulldog clips or hairpins. I've seen like bobby pins used. Or just get some, that's probably a thing, isn't it? Just get some paper clips and use paper clips. Whatever you need to do. I do this by using, make sure my thread's ready to go. I grab my needle and off the edge of my table, being very careful where your finger sits, because you do not want to poke your finger. But be careful where your finger sits, and the more you do this, the better you'll get at it. But yeah, pre-poke your holes from the marker that you made on the outside paper. And we're going to start. This is the bottom one from our stack. We're going to start on the inside, or the further side away from us. And we're going to do that by going in the hole we just made, maybe, like so. Leave a tail. something you can really work with when it comes to tying it. Okay, we're going to line that up. See if I can do it this way. Line that up with the first hole center that you made. And very gently, your yarn or your string, your twine, whatever you use, is going to bunch up and get caught sometimes. Don't panic. Just back it out of the hole a little bit, work out its issue, and then pull it through again. It will be fine. Okay. Now we're going to go to the bottom hole here that we made. We're going to go through the hole. This is so weird doing it in the air. Okay. Through the bottom hole and the hole that we made in our little signature. Very gently pull it through. And here you want to make sure that you pull it kind of taut, okay? Make sure that it's tight. Now here's where it gets interesting. We're going to make sure this is on one side of where we need it to be. I'm going to put this down here. Oh, those do not line up at all. That is so weird. How did that even happen? I do not know. Apparently, our holes didn't line up at all. Oh, that might have happened. Sometimes I flip my book top to bottom. Let's see. It's top, that one should be bottom. Oh no, I added these later. That's what I did. Okay, don't do it the way I just showed you. Don't do that. But since we have holes in our cover, we're just going to go with it. So, keeping your book tight, we're going to poke a second set of holes about there. Well, that's fabulous. And that happens sometimes, so yeah. Okay, so we're going to go through the one we just made, which will cover up the first, whoops. You'll find if you put your thumb over the thread you just pulled through, it helps keep everything together. Okay, now we want to make sure that's taut, and then we come back through the first set, let's see, with the center hole. But when I do this, I like to make sure it's on the other side of the long one. See, we've got our tail on this side. I like to make sure that we come up on that side of this long piece. We pull that taut, hold it down with our thumb, and then pull this through. Make sure we don't have any big boldy knot pieces. And then we tie this. I found that once is enough, but I like twice just because. These you can leave as they are. I usually trim them about here or so. You can do cute little decorative, I've seen people stick hearts and things, stars and things on the ends of these. I generally don't, it doesn't bother me. I also like to wind it around the center string a couple times if it's terribly long. Otherwise I just leave it. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't serve any purpose other than holding your paper or holding your signature. Let's see. That's one. Okay, keeping that in mind, I'm going to remark these since we had where it was off from the first one, and I messed up where I measured the holes. I'm going to line my signatures up with that first set and with a different colour. I'm just going to mark where I need to poke holes in these ones. It should make life a lot less stressful. Again, working from the bottom because we're working from the back of the book. So we take the next signature from the bottom. And find its center. Make sure everything's in there tight. Move that book out of the way. Put center hole, bottom hole, and our very top hole. I'm going to fix my yarn here a little bit so I have more to play with. Alrighty, now we're going to start here. Pull it through to about there. And it here. Oh, that's a little short, which is fine. Some of us are short. There we go. Stitching. It's always one end that doesn't want to play. Always. Okay, move the center string over. Make sure we come up on the other side. Make sure everything's in there nice and taut. Long papers, you can fold pretty much anyway. Those will just be fold outs. You'll notice the stuff up here, in here upside down. Don't care, it's just scratch paper. It's just a scratch book for knots. There is no right and wrong in these, usually. Journal in these. Good for doodles. I like to use these to plan stuff for out in the garden, or, you know, small projects or whatever. Okay, so that gives us 2, right? And because we are using coffee dyed and color stained papers, they take up a bunch more space. But you can iron them. I've seen people do that. I don't iron them because I don't even iron clothes. Because honestly, who's got the time? I mean, if you need a shirt done before you go to a function or something, that makes sense. But no, they make fabrics that you don't have to worry about that with anymore, even for dress shirts. Okay. Give it a lick, give it a squeeze, Poke it through your hole, and a good time was had by all. See? Done. Okay. Next one. Let's see, that was the one on top. This is the next one we need. Yes. See? Oh, it's got a little flip out. And we want to make sure I should catch it beautifully. Okay, so I'm going to move our book. I'm going to flip this way. Poke a hole. Being careful with your fingers. Poke a hole. Poke a hole. If your stuff's getting in your way here, just clip it out of your way. And you'll notice too, as you lay your book down, these sit flat. Not all books do that, and it drives me crazy, but these will actually sit flat in sections, which is awesome. Okay. So, we begin again. Make a tail. Line up with the next hole you're going in. There we go. Out through the center hole, make sure that's not all gross in there. See, this all gets matted. Just kind of back it up a little bit and pull it through again. Do not let yourself get stressed out by a little bit of string, okay? It's so not worth the energy there. I know it's a pain in the butt, I do it all the time, but it's really not worth the stress. This stuff's supposed to be fun, remember? And it is fun. Even when it's stressful. This is what we do. Okay, grabbing the whole thing. See, now it's going to do it all the time. I believe that's why a lot of people who make their own books use a waxed thread, waxed linen, whatever. I probably could leave it at 3, but no. I probably should have gone with 5 in this one. That's okay though. Alright, I am going to, let's see, I'm going to fold this one inside. Check that these are all good here. Everything works as it should. Because it's easier to fix now than when you're completely done with the project. Okay, and as we already checked. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Not enough coffee today. And there's our center. Poke holes. Not here, that's what we originally did. Poke it here. Okay, these don't hold very tight, but they usually hold just enough. But, it's okay. They're cheap hair clip accessories from Sally's. Sally's actually is a great place to get art supplies, even though the whole shop is designed for beauty supplies. So I got all my sponges and things. You can get bags of these. They come in this shape. I got a massive bag of these for $6, and I usually use, you know, for paint, stencils, that kind of thing. And you can wash them out and use them again, or if you're in a rush or being lazy like I am most of the time anymore, let them dry and then just cut off the colored end that's all messed up, unless you need a funky texture, because it does dry hard. But yeah, these are so stupid cheap. Here's one that I actually washed. They stain, naturally, but yeah, I can use that again and it's soft, so it's not all like hard. But this is what I use for stencils and stuff, usually. Okay, back to what we're doing. Okay, almost done. Oh, wait. See, getting in a rush. Go through there. Line it up with a hole there. There we go. Okay. That is about it, I think. Let's see. Let's move all our crap out of the way here. See, that's them up the right way. I'm upside down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. these. That was the other thing. I did put some scrapbook papers in here, like that one. This little fold-out card one. I try to, I don't always do it, but I try and do on one signature on the outside, on another signature, if it's going to have one, I try and do it on the inside, or closer to the inside. Although, those two ended up on the outside. Isn't that weird? But I try and balance those. But yeah, there it is. It's just a basic. You can decorate this now. I don't have any finish right now that are real fancy. But yeah, you put embellishments or you know, collage or whatever you want to do. There's all sorts of ways to do closures and stuff. This one's just going to have a band on it when I get that far. And at this size I can use like the hair tie elastics. I like to get the ones with a pretty decorative, you know, little flower or gem or whatever already on it, and just wrap it. Just stick it on there. It's got a pretty, you can move it, whatever. Take it off as you need it. But yeah, and then you can slip, let's see, oh, that might actually be for something. No, let's try this. Okay. These hold way more papers than you'd think. Maybe you want to stick it in the front, or it needs to be, it's something that needs to be you know, filed later or whatever. But there you go. That's how you put together a small file folder journal, or a notebook, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there it is. Bye.